I'm actually recording to remind myself that until the British return the artifacts that they've stolen, this country will forever be cooked. We will forever be paying bills and not be able to catch up with them, calling all your people you borrow like you pay monthly, saying please give me an extra day, paydays this, payday that. They say paydays here, but it's actually after that. Like, this country is cursed because of the British Empire and all the countries they invaded, and they have the cheek. Like, I don't think people understand. This is what I'm saying about, like, I don't believe in the whole heaven and hell concept. Somebody else is coming to do what we're meant to do. Until we all collectively say, bro, return the artifacts to its rightful countries, even if the leaders are corrupt, yeah, and the people are, like, majority of us know deep down, like, there will be an energetic shift within every African that has never even stepped foot in Africa if they just return the artifacts that they stole, that their ancestors stole. You cannot steal shit from other countries and then have it on display and and then pay security guards to stand around the museum so that you can't steal the shit. Bro, like, they're just playing in our face with Black Panther. They tried to make Killmonger look like the bad guy because he stole from the museum. Bro, this is his family, bro. It is, and this is our family. Like, this is, people need to realize, like, it's not even just an Africa problem. They have shit from India in there. Like, colonization is a global problem. It has done global damage. Whether your ancestor was a slave owner or you were a slave, we are all reaping the consequences of it now. That's what I really want everybody to realize. Whether you believe in God, whether you believe that he's coming back, or whether you don't believe that he's coming back and we need to face our fucking problems. Yeah, we need to clean up the mess that the niggas before us left. Yeah, half of you have reincarnated. That's why nothing feels different for you. Half of the people on this planet are just reincarnations of slavery over and over again, because until you get the fucking picture, you're not going anywhere. Ascension is real, but you're not going anywhere. You can't just leave your mess and then go. Niggas think you can just kill yourself and go. All these big people that said that they killed themselves, they died in prison, bro, they came back again as your child. So until you open your mouth, because we're thinking we're thinking we need to start a revolution of like start a revolution of storm the empire. They're thinking of a purge thing. It's not gonna be a purge thing where everywhere is open and the Western world crumbles and you can basically steal anything from anywhere. Yeah, before we get to that point, we all need to use the phones that we say that they're using to control us. The very same thought they need. Once we all start collectively thinking at the same time, they need to return our shit. It's the same reason why people know that they're meant to be rich, but they have not got no funds. The harder they work, the less money they make. Half of you are carrying names that are cursed. I didn't say somebody went behind the fire and said, oh, curse everybody in this family, but that is very true. That is very true for many people. Some people have been cursed for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 generations. What if they said all your generations are fucked? What are you going to do then? And you're carrying that name. Change your name. There is a power in legality. And that is what they have over us. When you make a straw man of a child, of a man that hasn't even given you his last name. First of all, why are you taking a man's last name? That's your first L. Yeah? Create something for yourself. Unless you are sure and confident in this man's heritage, if he has a creepy uncle, if he has a rapist father, you don't want to take that name. Let the name die. This is why shit keeps happening and nothing is changing, because we're not letting anybody die. We're not letting anybody die, bro. We're not letting anybody's consciousness die. So the more that somebody has the Epstein name, you're letting him live over and over and over again. It's just an inch in you. Even if it's just a percentage, he is still living in you because you carry his legal name. You see how loads of people in Jamaica are saying that there are so many beaches that they don't have access to because now they're privately owned by Caucasians because of money, right? So when money crashes, even though the Jamaicans have done nothing, they've done nothing to cause this, we are all going to suffer the effects if money crashes, when the stock market crashes, when even cash becomes meaningless, because there will be a point where you won't be able to access your online bank. But if you have cash, it will be valued because you've got cash. But if you've learned history, you can go to the bank and try and withdraw 50k. They don't have it. They'll ask you, why are you trying to withdraw it? Unless you're up there with an offshore account and you want the P's like that. But even then, even if you grabbed 50k from an offshore account, wherever you reside, you have to convert it into the currency that you live in. You're never gonna get big amounts of money like that just straight on the day that you ask for it, because money isn't real. So what they're doing is they're using technology, increasing the numbers, because money is debt. So the more money that they're making for these privately owned beaches, Jamaicans are paying the debt. Now they can't enjoy the land that the motherland gave them. So now the Caucasians are disrupting the relationship between Jamaicans and their mother. Until Jamaicans are angry enough to all go on social media, to all just talk about it. You don't even need to have social media if you're not a social media person. Just to say out loud, put it into the universe, the Caucasians need to give us our beaches back. Something will stir up in the motherland. Something will stir up in the mother. She would say, my children have awoken me. Like that Moana thing where, she's in the volcano, she lives in nature. Like the mother is nature. So until every single one of us sits by a tree, bear in mind, all of these trees that you're sitting by are not even female. They're not even female plants. They are male plants, which means that they don't produce any fruit. They don't produce nothing. They're just giving pollen. They have no other woman trees to pollinate, to do their thing with. So all these trees, especially in the Western world, all these male trees that you see, have you not seen in some parks? Yeah, in the Western world, things are looking duplicate. It looks like the same tree. And I find myself trying to be, I still find beauty in nature, alright? In all nature. But you can just tell when a Caucasian has raped nature. Because why are all the trees male? Why are you planting only male trees? Then only a man will say, it's only a man. I've never seen a woman say it. Only a man will say, oh, so what's going to happen when the fruit fall to the ground? Are you going to be the ones to clean it up? Yes, we are. We're going to pick up all the fruit that falls from the ground, all the apples, and then we're going to put it back in the soil. We're going to put it where we know the animals are going to come when you're not watching to eat. Humans are not the only ones that benefit from fruit on trees, from vegetables growing from the ground. These men don't think about animals. They don't think about nature. I see so many animals when I'm sitting in nature. They're looking at me for food. They're looking around, they're sniffing, they're having a look for food. There should be fruit in abundance for these animals, to the point where we're giving animals nuts and seeds and that, which is fine. But we're buying them store-bought nuts and seeds when they are meant to receive whatever they're meant to receive from nature. Do you know how much homelessness problems would be solved if you knew that, damn, I don't have money for a meal today, but I know there's a place over there I can get apples, plums. That one can sustain me. I like them fruits. I could even bring some for my neighbor. I can make some apple juice. I can take some and still be remembering that somebody else will take some later. Maybe I'll even take some from the ground so that I can, put them back in nature. Like that. I can make apple crumble. Because we're all just, this is what's happening when you're in the Western world for too long. Yeah, you think that you've made it out of the third world country. Now we need to even stop calling it third world country, because now the very same tea that Britain loves to drink came from India. Where's India's reparations for all that Nestle tea, green tea, you name it, all the teas under the sun, tea and biscuits? Where's India's reparations for all that? Or half of the fast fashion clothes you buy, polyester. Sometimes you might even see the label says cotton, but it's still polyester, because you can't believe everything that you read. Yeah. So where are all the other countries that all these made in China, made in Indonesia, made in Cambodia? Where are the reparations for these men, women, and children that are working day and night to produce fast fashion clothes for people that love shopping? Shein, Pretty Little Thing, Boohoo, all your favorite places do not pay the workers. Yeah, so you cannot then be surprised when you're in the Western world and you don't get paid the right amount for your job, or your job is just purely fucking you. Hello, you're wearing clothes of somebody that's going through the exact same situation as you. Christians love the whole, wearing somebody else's hair is demonic. Oh, they pray to another god. You don't know. First of all, do you know how deep it is that somebody has to sell their hair to make money? You never know, you could get that hair. Why don't you pray over the hair now and say, whatever this woman was going through, I don't receive her karmic debt, and you know what, we're going to work through it together, because she cut her hair to make a profit, and I'm going to use this hair to make more money. You're upset that she confided in her God when you believe in your own. So she should just cut off her hair like that, and not care about whose head is going to be on. Alchemy. We're meant to be working together. Women were meant to be working together, but this is the problem now. We're all divided. You can go to places in Africa and they feel like they have failed as people because they never made it to the Western world, even though they have the freshest food, the freshest meat. You can kill the goat there, and not kill it in a sense where you're eating the anxiety of the thing. Imagine these big farms, bro. Like the big farms I'm talking, where they inject the chickens just so that we could have free wings and chips after school. Listen, back in the day though, the free wings and chips was banging. I would even get me 6 and a drink, and I would still have change. Yeah. Nowadays, you're cooked. Prices are going up, but nobody's wages are going up. And you're not saying anything. You're just saying, let me find a better paying job. We are never going to win. Then you got the Christian people. God has done it for me. He helped me move to the Western world. He helped me. Yes, he helped me. He helped me move to the Western world. Why would your God that has seen everything that goes on in this world move you to a harder place that you need citizenship for? You can't freely come in and out. If you have an African passport of any country in Africa, there's a lot of countries you can go through with no visa. My parents didn't do the one job that they had to do was get me a Kenyan passport, and they didn't even do that. So now I have to go through the process myself so that I can get a Kenyan passport, and so my daughter can have one, so I can at least travel through all my neighboring countries without using my British passport, and only being allowed to stay there for 90 days, only being allowed to go there unless I go to an embassy first and say, oh right, I'm basically a visitor in my own land. Oh, but when Queen Elizabeth, when your Queen of England, yeah, when your Queen of England was traveling back in the day, she was saying that she's visited more African countries than Africans themselves. Did she have a visa? People are upset. Why? I didn't give a fuck about why she died. What did she do to help you? What has the royal family done for you? And all these Africans, yeah, it's the colonization they don't even deep. That's why they favor them so much. What has the royal family done for you? Every time that you voted for a politician, you voted Labour, you voted this, you voted that, they said they're going to do something. They got into power and they didn't do it. David Cameron did his thing, absolutely fucked us, and then left. Bye! On a sliding, he just left. On a sliding, because that is what Caucasians do. And this is the thing, yeah. I used to feel upset when I would say Caucasians, but I'm talking about a specific majority. If you haven't learned by now that there are very good white people on this planet with good hearts, with the right morals, and they don't need a god to prove that to. I'm talking about a white person who genuinely enjoys the travel. Maybe he even has an African wife. Those two that just love to travel and eat food, try each other's cultures. Yeah, there are some interracial couples that you just look at and you can feel the love. You can feel the love on their face. So those people, they know I'm not talking about them. Those people that genuinely enjoy just exploring other countries, and they are aware of the history. They are aware that their ancestors were not like them. I'm talking about your Caucasian ancestors that still live today. This is nothing new. You're worshipping a Bible that says nothing is new under the sun. So what makes you think that this is your first time here either? Me personally, I know for a fact I haven't been on this earth in a long time. But this is the reason why people are saying kids are going to save the world. Because nobody else is going to do it. The only time you can be a menace is when you're a child and you say, this is fucked, I don't like this food, I don't want to eat this, all that, what do they call it? Terrible twos. They call it terrible twos. What other time is the child going to be a menace? Because after that point, they're going to be 5, you're going to send them to school, and they're going to change, and you're never going to see that little boy, little girl again. Then you're going to terrorize them for the rest of their teenage years. Oh, remember when we was little? Remember when you was little? You used to hug me all the time. Well, you sent them to school in programming, and they got bullied in school. And now the only thing that matters now is validation from you, which is good grades. So you programmed your own child. So why are you surprised that they're not connecting with you? This system is wrong. The more that you feed your children into the school system, the more that you birth children knowing that you want them to work hard and pay off your debts. Has nobody watched Squid Game? Like, you cannot pay off somebody else's debts. You are not a good person even if you think that. You just think, oh, like, let me do it because they can't do it. They can do it. That's why it's their debt. And once we all realize that we should not be spending the very little money that you have to be paying off debts. If anybody needs to pay off debts, it's Caucasians, and it's not going to start with money. Like, there is no amount of money that the British government could give Jamaica to say, let us keep your beaches. The Jamaicans are going to say, fuck off with your money. We want our beaches. This beach that I used to be here with my family. We used to swim. I used to feel the mother in this water. Women have had water births in this water. You're now in the Western world where they're telling you can't communicate with dolphins. Oh, I didn't know. Did the dolphins make that law? Because the last time I checked, the dolphins are going to chat to you regardless. Animals are going to be drawn to you no matter who you are, where you are, why you are, no matter what law. Animals are their own kind of species. And the only reason why they haven't overtaken humanity is because it's not their job to pay our debts. It's not. So even if an animal knows, yeah, I'm about to get eaten, like, this is so wrong. Like, my whole existence is just to be on somebody else's plate. At least they are conscious of that fact, because then somebody will eat that chicken. This chicken here, maybe I shouldn't be eating chicken. No, maybe you shouldn't be eating chicken in the Western world where you know they have been injected and had a horrible life. I clocked it. Listen, like, there's some meat that you eat and you're like, wow, what the hell is this? Now, you eat meat, you're wondering if it's even meat. Is it lab grown? Is it? You can't even trust. The state of the world is fucked. It's kind of like how, and you know that the abuse is right, trickles down all the way to families, into abuse. Like, I used to know a guy, thank God I cut him off, and I never had a child with him. Thank God, oh, thank God. See, I don't believe in God, but thank God. Thank God. Yeah. He said to me that his dad is a pastor, still a pastor, a very big church in Nigeria, very big church. Used to beat him. Yes, he used to beat him in front of the whole family. And the family said nothing. I want you to know, one, that comes from slavery. From when, again, as a family, you would see the Caucasian beating your husband, raping your wife, and you can't do anything about it because he will kill you. What could you do during slavery? That was your master. You couldn't do anything. Yeah? So now we have repeated it again. The Caucasian is now the black man. Internalized. He has taken on the debts of the Caucasian. Do you get it? It's almost like the script has flipped, yeah? The white man lives with no remorse because the white man has become the black man. Oh, this is so deep. Oh, this is so deep. Now, the man still has a church to this day. He's grown up now, It doesn't beat him anymore. Yeah, it doesn't beat him anymore because they're not in the same country. That's why it doesn't beat him anymore. So it didn't stop. They're just not in the same country. And a lot, again, obviously over the years, the women, the sisters started speaking up. I can't watch this anymore. I can't watch you beat my family, my siblings. I can't watch you beat my mother. I can't watch you cheat on my mother. I don't care if you're a Christian or not. I don't care if you have a church or not. You are a bad person. Okay, no problem. Now. This was last year. He told me, yeah, it's my father's birthday, and I'm going to Nigeria to celebrate with him. You mean the man who beat you? Yeah, he didn't say I've forgiven him. He just said that he understands that Jesus is the reason why he looks at him in a different light. No problem. So the man can get away with not apologizing. He can still receive money from his tax-free church, and he can have another woman, and he has the cheek to invite you to his birthday. It's different, yeah, when we're all reading the Epstein files and we're like, yo, this man is fucked. It would be different if we said, oh, well, he's dead now. What's the point in reading them? Every time you read it, you need to say, listen, they need to release all the files. Stop saying that you're hiding the pictures for the victims, because if we really had a sense, if humanity still had their morality in them that wasn't brainwashed by fluoride, yeah, you would know that these women are not victims. These women and men and little girls and little boys that were abused by Epstein, they are not victims because they are still breathing, even though there's many that are not. But the point is, yeah, once you say that you're protecting their face, you're hiding them. Like, we should all be conscious and aware of this fact. Why are we hiding? No, he abused this woman. She's a beautiful woman. She's here now. We are aware of her trauma, and she is allowed to live her life now regardless. Now we've all kind of, you get it, distractions, Iran, or Palm Beach Pete. Palm Beach Pete. Are you fucking serious? Palm Beach Pete. Now he's walking around again. Hey guys, it's Palm Beach Pete. He's got no sense of like remorse. I think you need to understand. Now all the Epstein victims, when he is the abuser, we need to put the focus back on him. It's not about the women and men and girls and boys that were abused. It's about the hierarchy. How are you protecting them by hiding them? Let them speak their truth. Let them open their mouths and have YouTube channels and get paid, and TikToks and Instagram. They need to get paid and need to open their mouth and say, listen, he drugged me. So I don't remember everything, but I remember this, I remember that, I remember that. And you use your moral compass. I believe you. Or, you get it? You're saying you're protecting them. Now, if there was somebody that genuinely said, I don't want to be exposed like that, that's fine, yeah? But if it was majority, because it's happened to so many girls, I feel like saying that you're protecting them, like anytime the government, anybody talks about protecting women and girls, I don't believe them. I don't believe them, not what I've seen. Until they raise the laws in every country for the consent, the age of consent to be 21 to be 25. I don't really want to hear it. Oh, they're gonna find a workaround. Even if you raise it to 25, they're gonna find a workaround. Or let's see them try. Because if every woman knew, I shouldn't even consider marriage until my frontal lobe has developed. Even if a man came to a young girl and she heard that law, she'll say, well, the God that I worship, he also married a little girl. But the law is saying that my age of, I can't give consent until 25 because that's when my brain fully develops. I wonder why. So what happened all this time? Did you get it? They'll start questioning it in their own mind from a young age. Oh, so my cousin wasn't meant to get married at 9. I'm not meant to have marriage proposals at 9. I should be thinking about my life. I should be in nature, frolicking, painting, dancing. I should be thinking about traveling the world on a plane. Until, like, we have to stop being afraid to come out about abuse and say that my dad abused me. My dad is an abuser and he still is. I don't care if he owns a church. I don't care if he's bettered your life. He ruined and annihilated mine. Lucius and Cookie building a big empire, but they couldn't look after their 3 sons. How is Cookie taking the fall for Lucius and going to prison for 17 years meant to help the empire? She wasn't there to raise her sons. So then when she came back on her, I'm your mother, is she really angry at the fact that this has all happened without her? Or is she angry at the fact that she started it but she couldn't finish it? So then I was watching, like, it was in season, hold on, I've got it here, season 5 episode 15, but it must be 14 now. Season 5 episode 14 and 15, where Andre has cancer and Terry has been helping him this entire time. And Terry is a different story because she also believes in God, but she was much better than Cookie in a sense of, Cookie was like, oh, I flew in this doctor from to check on your chemo, to give us a opinion on your Terry said, listen, I've been with this man, feeding him out of a straw. I've been here. We've already got a second, third, fourth opinion. We're good. Cookie said, well, all these opinions, I wasn't here for them. Very lippy, Cookie, very lippy. And I was young when I first watched Empire. I was young and naive, so I wanted to see this power couple and this big company. And Empire was built off drugs. It was built off of the lives of people being ruined by crack. And it's even in this season as well, yeah. Turns out Lucius's firstborn is not even Andre, it's Kingsley. Yeah. The son of a white woman that he was with who got hooked on his crack. And she in her mind, she's like, it's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault. And he's like, listen, you're the one that got hooked on crack. You was on crack before we met, before we had sex, da 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 da. But see, this is what men can do. They can fuck up your life and leave. So he goes off to build his empire. He treats Andre like his firstborn. The whole time there's a son that's watching him on TV like, So the next time that you're worried, why is this happening to me? You are holding somebody else's karmic debt. Drop the name, drop the family, drop the God, drop the religion, drop the lifestyle. This account is for deconstructed people. I'm not here to tell people to drop, I'm not telling people what to do. I'm just a teacher. And I know what I'm saying. So when I'm saying, that the very people that birthed you are killing you, did we not see that the Rothschild family would marry in their family so that the wealth stays in their family? What if the two people that was about to get married, say it was a woman and her cousin, where do you think all of this comes from, bro? It starts somewhere. Yeah, now it's to a point where in a lot of Asian countries, it's not about the wealth. They just like marrying young girls, and they just like marrying within their family. They like the sick and twisted part of it. Moral compass is at a 0. Because when you have been stripped of love, affection, empathy, all that is left is a blob of nothingness in a body. Arrested development. I don't know what age they stopped developing. When a man said that he would rather be with a little girl than a grown woman in her grown woman body that's 25 and built something for herself, and she's not even looking for a man, but if you approach her the right way, if you serenade her the right way, she gonna listen. Because it's not about the woman, it's about control. And if they can't control money, they're gonna control the woman. So let's say, go back to the Rothschild, let's say there's two people in the Rothschild that are like, listen, I don't want to get married to you, bro, but it looks like we don't have any other choice because we have to keep this wealth within the family. I don't care about the wealth, man, I just want to be free. Well, we can't be free. Maybe we can be free if we get married and they'll leave us alone. But the marriage contract is where it all begins. So, long story short, if I had a baby with that guy that is still trapped in his trauma, and is the same guy who told me to go back to my mother, he told me to go back to my trauma, and at the time I believed him, even though the universe was literally not allowing me to go there. I fell asleep on the train back there. I just was realizing how much listening to a man can actually kill you, because he's killed himself, right? So I went back to my mom's house for a while, but it was so eye-opening because I was able to pick up the last of my things and actually bring that little girl with me and say, no, we're not staying here. I can't. I'm sorry. I love you way more than a man could ever tell me. And this was before I got pregnant, way before. And I remember realizing that if I did have a baby with a man like that, you would have to dedicate it in the church, whole family involved, and I nearly had that. I want to have a religious free life, bro. I need to do that for the ancestors before me who had to marry a man to have a child. Esh. Who could not leave the house because the man is paying the bills. Esh. Before you even say good morning, baby, you're praying at 5 a.m. Why don't you give it to me? Why don't you give it to me? You're praying. I used to date a guy. The more stuff that I did for him, he would say thank God. He wouldn't say thank you. He couldn't look me in my eyes and say thank you. He would say thank God because it's in his manual. Like, that was the first time I was actually conscious of a man's DNA controlling him. Like, the program is controlling him. He wants to say thank you to me. He wants to say thank you to a black woman, but he can't. He has to give thanks to a God he's never seen because they beat him and they said, if you don't say the name Jesus, you are not living here. So now I come as divine. Divine? I've never heard this one in the Bible. They never beat that into me. They actually scrapped you. And now you're helping me. You're like the mother I never had. How does this make any sense? Thank God. So one day I feel that these men will break through the programming and they will realize that they are God and they've been manipulated for generations, and they're carrying not just the names of slave owners, but slaves. When they create their own empire, and I'm not talking about Lucius Lyon, because what the fuck is that name, first of all? I like Lucius because he never believed in God, but his sense of morality was warped in a sense of like, he had his own trauma. He saw his father get shot, and so he just kept shooting people mercilessly, I've noticed. And then the trauma found him again by Kingsley shooting himself right in front of him. He couldn't even give Kingsley the words of reassurance that he needed, that listen, even if I wasn't with you during your childhood, let's be something now. That was why Kingsley was doing, like, messing up his empire, because he just wanted to be acknowledged as his firstborn son, and he couldn't give that to him, so he shot himself, shoots himself, and then now they're begging the mom, please, we need Kingsley's heart to save Andre. Do you see the irony? Cookie sees Treasure making moves on Lucius because she wants to say thank you, baby, for believing in me. Yeah, she wants to ride this nigga, and she's drunk. Cookie walks in, she's like, hey, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Then she goes to Damon's house on a revenge thing. She couldn't even have the sex. She left. And she said, oh my God, I can't do this, because you know why? Cookie's not a hardhead. We all saw her as a hardhead, but she just needed therapy. And she got it in season 6. She got it. She's smashing everything. Oh, you built this off my shoulders. You built this off my shoulders. You built this off my shoulders. Plot twist. Her sisters were the ones that called the police and gave the stick to Lucius because they wanted Lucius in jail. But what did Cookie do? She took the fall for a man, because that was her dad when her dad died. Lucius is the only man she's known since she was 15. All these women that are with men, creating babies for men before their frontal lobe has developed, it will end in my lifetime. The age of consent will be 25 in my lifetime. I thought about 21, but it's not enough. 25. Watch how the men will change. What happens if they have to pursue you? They meet you at 18. They meet you at 20 now. They have to actually know who you are for the next 5 years before they can even think about you taking their name. Why are you taking their name? Create a new one together, or don't take his name at all, or hyphen. There's a lot of women. Listen, marriage only works if the woman is a man-hating woman, and the man also agrees with it. He also says, yes, I hate men. My own species, I hate them. Yes. And we are consciously moving forward together. We are letting our children know this is the state of the world. Marriage was not designed for a woman's happiness. Because if it was designed for a woman's happiness, it wouldn't be so easily accessible. If marriage was really for our benefit, why is it that you need to be married to stay in to be a permanent resident of a country? You need to go into a church and go before the God and say you'll be together until death do you part. Are you mad? You even have to make a contract with the masculine God. And this is why people say, yeah, Jesus, look at me with my husband. Why do you think you have been praying for a husband, praying for a wife? But this is the funny thing, and it doesn't come. But the thing is, yeah, when a man prays for a wife, he gets it. Because do you know what he does? He's specific. He says, listen, one day I told God what I want. So I want a fine wife, one that cooks, good brother with the children, thoughtful, intelligent. She's okay with being a stay-at-home wife. He's just talking about he's literally a man from his past reincarnating. And then what happens? Because he manifested it with his life force and another man's life force, the woman comes. Yeah. This is manifestation. There's 8 billion people in the world. You don't think you can make a checklist and find that person? You're asking God. That's why when the woman, God, oh God, oh God, oh where are you? Oh, destiny helper. I mean, that one was dry, but I was talking for too long, anyways. Yeah, the whole house has had me now, and half of these women, I don't even know if they're married. They want to be though. All these women in this house religious. So imagine me talking about non-religion in a religious household. Oh, this is the life I'm living. I have to be okay going to Thailand, going to Bali, knowing that there is a temple to every other god under the universe. I have to know that there are some temples I can't even go inside because it's men only. It doesn't mean Thailand is a bad place. It doesn't mean these Asian countries are a bad place, but they don't respect women. Most people that have amazing hospitality, they learned it from their mother, who was over caring. She's just giving everything. Did your mother have any hobbies? Do you remember her having any hobbies other than passing down recipes to you? Other than mother's cooking. I know mother's cooking is beautiful, yes, but did your mother have something she loved to do? Did she like dancing? Oh, I didn't really see her dance. She was praying a lot though. She never really got to buy things for herself because she was always buying things for us. Oh, it's so nice to, my mom packs my lunch. You can't pack your own lunch. Big grown man. You can't pack your lunch. You didn't decide to learn the recipe so that your wife can learn from you. No, my wife will learn from my mother. I've just noticed some men skip the kitchen entirely, and I'm like, my last relationship that I attracted, I never cooked, not once. Maybe once when he came to my house, but even then, once is crazy. Like, it's not that men belong in the kitchen.